So, dear students, as per the demands regarding the doubts, okay, the electrical resistance furnaces has to be discussed. So, this is a revision class. Almost all the 5 modules we have covered of your syllabus, metal casting and welding process subject. Okay, now we'll go with the direct electrical arc furnace and indirect electrical arc furnace. So these are the furnaces which works on the principle of electricity, okay, by the means of electric current, high voltage currents, okay, for the melting of the metal. Now let us see the constructions and features of direct electrical arc furnaces. Okay, so the direct electrical arc furnace, so in this direct electrical arc furnace, over here, what is happening, before going for the operations we'll see the construction features. Now see, this is an circular or semicircular refractory or the rammer hearth. Okay, refractory bricks is there sliding above the ground level, it is sliding above the ground level. So in the left, forward and backward direction also it slide, and it also tilt in the curve direction, this furnace. Okay, the construction is done in such manner of this furnace, or the movement of this furnace is in such manner. Okay, now you can see over here, here is a pouring spot is there, and this is a molten metal, and over here the rammed, or you can say the ramped earth is there. Okay, and this is a slag door is over here. Okay, from where the slag has to be removed on, and this is a magnetic bricks. Over here there is a metallic roof is been given, which is attracted to this magnetic bricks for the locking and unlocking of the above roof is been done. Okay, there are 3 holes are been given to the magnetic bricks roof over here, by which these 3 holes the electrodes are being inserted within the roof. These electrodes are made of a graphite electrodes. Okay, and now these electrodes are connected with a 3-phase power supply, which is a high voltage power supply, so that the electrodes can be charged over here. And this you can see the steel shield roof is there. Okay, now this is what the simple construction of a direct arc electrical furnace. Now let us see how does the operation carried out of these furnaces. Okay, so first thing is that the furnace has been preheated. This has been preheated by the any other source, just like a fire torch or the fire flame is been introduced over inside the furnaces, and it has been preheated. Advanced heat is been given to the furnace. Then afterwards what is been done, second one is charging the furnace. Charging the furnace means what, putting in composite material or the raw material or the base material which is to be melt. Okay, if the gun metal is to be melt, gun metal, aluminum is to be melt, aluminum, copper is to be melt, copper, cast iron is to be melt, cast iron. So these are the base material which has been added in a solid form. Okay, that is a scrap or something in a solid form which has been put, that is adding the metal into the furnace is called as an charging the furnace with some of the composite material or the alloys which has to improve the mechanical property are been added inside this one. Okay, then afterwards what is done, this roof is been closed. Second one is an roof is been closed, and this electrodes are been placed inside through the roof, placed inside the furnace through the holes of that roof is been placed inside, and these rocks are been, electrodes are been uh, allowed to touch the metal. Okay, is been allowed to touch the metal. Once the just you have seen the welding, direct welding, how does the welding electrodes, first of all you are touching to the metal, then afterwards once the arc is generated, you are keeping some distance between the workpiece and the gap. Okay, same way in this furnace also, the arc is been introduced, this electrodes is been touched to the workpiece, then afterwards a high voltage power supply, a three-phase power supply is been given to this electrode. As the power is been supplied, at that moment what happens, the current starts to flow over here. Okay, once the current starts to flow over here, the electrons at the end of this electrons, what I'm saying, electrons at the end of the electrodes are being stopped over there, resist over there, and collapse with each other, okay, or rough with each other, and produce or generate some heat over there by the means of arc. Once the arc is generated, then the frequent gap is been produced between the graphite electrodes and the workpiece, by which means the electricity by which the electrical energy is converted into an heat energy and produce the heat inside the furnace, which makes the metal to melt over there. Okay, then afterwards, as the heat and the temperature increases frequently, the metal starts to melt over there. Once the metal is been melt completely, so the whatever the impurities are there in that metal, okay, are been start to float at the upper side of the liquid metal or the surface of that liquid metal. That impurities which is floating on the surface of the liquid metal is called as an slag. That slag is been removed out by this door. Over here there is a slag door. Okay, the operator removes all the upper surface of the molten metal which is just collected like an impurities on that molten metals are been removed out. Okay, then afterwards when the slag is been removed out, the electrodes are been removed from this roof, and this molten metal is ready for pouring. Now how does the pouring phenomena carried out? By using the help of this electrical arc furnace. Now you can see in this diagram, at the bottom it is in curve shape. Okay, and over here there is a slider is given at this base. Okay, so this furnace, okay, moves in forward and backward direction, as well as it can tilt in U shape. Okay, U shape like this way. Hmm? Now over here, after melting over here, so here there is a cup, one is there, crucible cup is there, from where, from the pouring spot, this molten metal enters into the cup as the furnace is been tilted, okay, in left side. Once the molten metal is collected in this cup, it is been taken for the pouring into the mold cavity. So this is what the simple construction of an electrical direct arc furnace. Okay, now over here this rods are one consumable, the electrical rods is consumable, and it is used for the ferrous and non-ferrous metal both. Okay, anybody having the doubts regarding this one, direct arc electrical furnace? If you are having doubt, can ask. Okay, now we'll go with the indirect arc furnace. See, this is an indirect arc furnace. That was a direct arc furnace. It is an indirect arc furnace. Why it is called as an indirect arc furnace? In direct arc furnace, the electrodes comes with the contact directly with the raw material. That means what, the workpiece which is to be, sorry, not workpiece, a material which is to be melt, or the iron which is to be melt for the casting. Okay, either it may be ferrous or non-ferrous. The electrodes are coming directly contact with that alloys or the metal, base metal. But in direct arc furnace, what is happening over here, the electrodes doesn't come with an contact or directly touch to the any of the metal which you are going to melt. Either it may be ferrous or either it may be non-ferrous. Okay, the electrodes are not going to touch with each other. Now we can see in the simple diagram over here, this is a indirect arc electrical furnace. Over here we can see this is a cut section which has been shown in the diagram. It is a cut section. Okay, it is a drum. It is an hexagonal or this pentagonal shape. They have shown the drum. Okay, either it may be a circular drum or elliptical drum. Okay, any shape it will be, but in the diagram they have shown the hexagonal drum. Okay, in this drum, this is a cut section, this is a terminal. Okay, this is used for the movement of the up and downs of the drums. Okay, now over here you can see there are the two electrodes are there which have been placed within the drum. Okay, and these are the two rollers. Okay, and this is a carbon electrodes, and this is a steel shell. Steel shell means what? The outer covering of that furnace is an steel, often steel, and inside you can see the refractory linkings are there. Refractory linkings means what? The linkings or the wall which is made by the fire breaks or any other material which can be reused or can be maintained by any other ways, just clay mold. Okay, such types of linkings are called refractory linkings. Now this is what the simple construction. Now we'll go for the working. You can see over here there are two electrodes are being used, power leads. Okay, that are the carbon electrodes. Okay, these are the carbon electrodes which are been connected to the power supply. High voltage power supply has been given over here. Okay, then afterwards, second thing, what is the second thing? Charging of an furnace. Over here there is a small door is there. From that door you have to charge the furnace. Charging the furnace means what? Putting in materials or the metals which are going to be melt, by which you are going to make an casting. Okay, that material, either copper, cast iron, pig iron, whatever the metal you are going to make, that has been placed inside. Okay, for which is making for the melting of purpose. Okay, just charging the furnace. Then afterwards what you are going to do, slowly both these electro rods are been made to come closer to each other. Okay, make closer to come to meet each other. At the same time the power is being supplied to these electrodes, and these electrodes are being made to come closer to each other. After some maintaining some distance between the electrodes, these electrodes start to produce an arc, electrical arc, or you can say the spark starts to generate over there. With the help of the spark or the arc which is generated, the heat is produced within this container or the steel shell in which the raw material or the pig ions are being placed. Okay, as the heat is starts to produce, the temperature within this cell, which is in closed bucket type, or you can say closed container type, the temperature starts to increase over there. Once the temperature increases within this container, the heat starts to produce in a larger way. Okay, once the heat starts to release over there, the temperature obviously increasing, which goes beyond the melting point of that material which has been placed within this furnace. Even once the temperature goes beyond the melting point means what? The melting temperature. If you put a copper, it melts in a 1000 degrees Celsius. If the inside temperature is been increased above the 1000 degrees Celsius, so obviously what happened, the metal starts to melt, because the it melts in 1000, the temperature is 12,000, means what? It is more than the melting point, that on what the that particular metal is been melt. Okay, then obviously that metal starts to melt over there. Okay, once the metal has been completely melted, okay, then the electrodes are being removed out, and there is an pouring spot is there beyond the door, or small hole is been given. From that hole the molten metal is been removed out. Now you can see over here there are the two rollers are there. Okay, these are the two rollers which are been molded on the base. Okay, this roller, by this help of this roller, this furnace is been tilted. Okay, like this way is been tilted, and this furnace molten metal is been collected in this cup and carried out for the pouring purpose. So this is what the simple working of an direct arc electrical furnaces. Okay, so these were the two furnaces which has to be discussed in the today's class. In the next class, whatever the doubts you are having, that will go with that one. Tokif, just unmute, all of you unmute Pritam, Ravi, 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 Tokif, Tokif, Ravi, Tokif, Ravi, where are you? Ravi, Tokif, do you understand this direct and indirect? Tokif, 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 do you understand this? Huh? You are not getting my voice clearly, Pritam? Pri- do you understand this direct and indirect? Okay. In next class, what do you want to be discussed? Next class, I have completed all the 5 modules. Which concept do you have not understand? That I will discuss in the next class. Which concept do you want? Tokif, which concept do you want in the next class to be discussed? Which concept you have not understand, that I will discuss? Ravi, Ravi, are you audible? Ravi, hello, hello, Ravi, Ravi, are you audio? Can you hear my voice? Tokif, Tokif, any concept that you have not understand that has to be discussed in the class? Any concept you just huh? Huh? Okay, okay, you better message in the group, we will discuss in the class. Okay, next class, what the concept you have not understand, I will explain you once again. Okay, all of you, huh? Okay, so today we'll wind up the class over here. Whatever in next class are all the revision classes which you are having the doubt, just highlighted, I will explain it. Okay, now tomorrow I think I will give the quiz test. Okay, same class time will conduct the quiz. Okay, just inform to all, it is very important as per your IA marks. Okay, it depends on that IA marks. Okay, we have not conducted the IA, but the video has told to all the faculties to conduct the quiz. Huh? What? Why? Huh? 12 o'clock. Okay, let it be. I will see the time. Otherwise, we will take in the evening, 5 o'clock. Okay. Bye. Okay. Thank you for joining, all of you.